Now let's look at the CSS here. I'm going to open this up in our editor. So the first rule up here is font face. Now this @font face isn't a selector like other selectors. Instead, using this keyword allows us to set a new font that we can use, and its properties are unique to font face. So the first property we see here is font-family, and this is where we define the name that we can reference this font by later on. So down here in this selector for this class, if we use the font shorthand property, we can reference this font by using font awesome here. If we change this name here, we would need to change it here as well. And then we have the source, which is a URL to the location of the font file. Now there are two different source properties here, and the reason for this, as well as the slew of different font formats here, is a bit complicated, but it basically has to do with cross-browser compatibility. Some browsers use certain types of fonts, other browsers use others, though in general things are gravitating towards a WOFF or WOFF2 font. Now this is structured in this particular way to make sure that the right font types get loaded for the right browsers. If you really want to dig into why it's structured this way, you can go to this page by Paul Irish. It's an older one, but it's still relevant, called Bulletproof Font Face Implementation Syntax. And you can see as you scroll down that there's some details here that talks about some different approaches and why certain things make more sense than others. In general, I'm going to jump back to the code. You're never going to have to write this yourself. If you're going to use a web font, you're likely going to use a service like TypeSquirrel or Typekit or Google Fonts. It will generate this structure here so you don't really have to worry about it. And finally, there's font weight and font style, which is telling us which version of the fonts we want to use when we reference the font by this name here. It defaults to normal, so these two are added in just to make it clear.